فلولا نفر من كل فرقة منهم طائفة ليتفقهوا في الدين.
وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا وسددنا واهدنا ويسر الهدى لنا. I ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to make us of those who are guided, make us of those who are a cause for others to be guided. May Allah bless us to be of those who continue to be steadfast on the straight path once we find it. The notion of perfection, the notion of perfecting your work, doing your absolute best, regardless of what it is that you are doing, is an Islamic concept. It is a concept that is quite essential to our belief as Muslims, or quite essential to our dedicated practice and following of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For those of you who are familiar with the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know that he was the best at anything he did sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a businessman, he was the best at trade. When he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a shepherd, he was the best at herding the sheep. When he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given prophethood, he was the best at conveying the message. When he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given leadership of a town, he was the best of leaders. When he was made to be a judge, he was the best of judges. When he was a husband, he was the best of husbands, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, the best of fathers, the best of grandfathers, and so on and so forth, alayhi salatu wassalam. So for us as Muslims, anything that we take on, any responsibility that we take on, it is incumbent upon us to do our absolute best to be successful, to do the research, so to speak, to be sure that we're going about this particular job the right way, to ask the experts, so that when we are embarking upon this venture or we are taking on this responsibility, we're sure that we've exhausted all resources to be sure we're doing our best. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول في كتابه الذي تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا ما قال أكثر عملا وهو العزيز الغفور, which translates as glorified is he Tabarak, the one in whose hands there is kingdom and he is able to do all things, the one who's created life and death to test you which of you has the best of deeds, not the most of deeds, the best of deeds. And he is almighty and forgiving, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with that in mind, the hadith of Abi Ya'la Shaddad ibn Aus radiyallahu anhu, the 17th hadith of the 40 40 Nawawiyah. Abu Ya'la Shaddad ibn Aus radiyallahu anhu قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله كتب الإحسان على كل شيء فإذا قتلتم فأحسنوا القتلة وإذا ذبحتم فأحسنوا الذبحة وليحد أحدكم شفرته وليرح ذبيحته. رواه الإمام مسلم بن الحجاج النيسابوري. So the hadith translates as this, the hadith of Abi Ya'la Shaddad ibn Aus, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Indeed, Allah has written Ihsan, perfection. Perfection does not mean that you have to do everything perfectly. However, it does mean that you strive for perfection. You do your best to do the best. And once you've done your best to do the best, you've done your job. That's what is meant by perfection. Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that we have shortcomings as human beings and we can never attain true perfection. This is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of perfection. However, the Prophet ﷺ says, Inna Allah, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written perfection on all things. So if you kill, you make sure you perfect that kill. And if you slaughter, you perfect that slaughter. And one of you should sharpen their blade and comfort their slaughter animal. So the Prophet ﷺ is giving us an example of how to attain perfection, or how to practice perfection, or how to do things properly. And the example that he's given, ﷺ, is an example of something that you think is unimportant. You're killing it anyway. It's about to lose its life anyway. Right? So why not just shoot it with a bullet? Bismillah, you're done with it. Why not just throw it over the building and be done with it? Right? What does it matter how it dies? It's dead. Right? That's what one would think. However, the Prophet ﷺ is telling us, even with something that seems insignificant, unimportant, you have to practice the concept of perfection, doing your best. Even in war, even when a person deserves qisas, right? When they've killed someone in an Islamic country and they're supposed to be killed for a life. That knife needs to be absolutely sharp. The sword needs to be sharp. So when the head is cut, it's one cut, it's one slice. It's not, no, this is not perfection. Right? And then the Prophet ﷺ tells us how to slaughter. Sharpen your knife. Comfort your animal. Don't make it nervous. So that as soon as it feels the blade, it's dead. The time between feeling the blade and dying is seconds. You don't want the animal to suffer. What about with other things that we do, relationships that we have, right? What about with endeavors that we're embarking upon, our business, our work, the things that are important to us in life? Ihsan should be practiced throughout. And this is our deen. Ahsin, ahsan Allahu ilayk. If you are of those who practice perfection, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be kind to you in a perfect manner. جزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله فيكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
ولينذروا قومهم إذا رجعوا إليهم لعلهم يحذرون